Don't mind me, guys. I'm just waking up. And man, there was actually some really interesting things that happened in the World Championship that we have to talk about. You see, my head is like, yeah, all right, I hate when it does that, but so many crazy things, so many exciting things, and more importantly, some huge things that will impact our ban list. Not only will we talk about that, we'll also be going over the huge ban list that is looming. When exactly will the ban list come? What exactly will be on the ban list? If there is any indication of what happened in Worlds, it's going to be very soon, and it's going to be some select cards. Let's go ahead and jump on in. What's going on with y'all, big dogs? And it is an amazing day for Yu-Gi-Oh! I hope that your day, phenomenal. But if it isn't, don't let what happened at the beginning of your day ruin the rest of your day. And in case you guys didn't know, it is that special time. It's update my day. A particular time where I trick you into thinking that this is a Yu-Gi-Oh video, when overall, I just want to make you a better person. Don't worry, guys. There's timestamps for the people that just want to know Yu-Gi-Oh, though I don't suggest you skip this. Today, big dogs, I want to talk about something that's really been getting to me. I've noticed in my life, there is a point in time, every time of the year, where things just don't go right. My Discord was hacked and I was banned. Huge website problems. The content creation situation is not exactly where I would like it to be. The ban list isn't out. I suck at baseball. My teeth hurt. That, and then there's bills on top of bills on top of bills on top of bills. Holy crap. Sometimes you just gotta hate it. I know for some, these problems may seem a little light, and some people may be going through some pretty big problems of their own. But I do have a solution for both of our problems. I woke up this morning and realized one thing and one thing only. It doesn't matter the situation or the predicaments that you were put in. The only thing that matters is how you approach them. And how should we approach them, class? What? Yo, best. Big dogs, though we could be hundreds to thousands of miles apart, I can tell you from the bottom of my heart, I feel you, man. I know that you may be going through some real BS, but the best way to handle these situations and problems always is to give it your best. Show them your best version of yourself. Look for ways that where you can always look back and say, hey, I did my very best. A lot of times it is the positive affirmations, your positive looks in a negative situation that can not only pull you through, but may be the determining factor. Which is why I want to also announce, as of September 1st, the website is back, baby! Yeah, they thought they could hold us down. Mrs. Brown learned how to code over the weekend at Crash Course, and we bringing you guys Raven Wing sleeves again, but that's not what you want to hear right now. I want to be 100% confident and tell you guys that you want to hear my opinion on the Yu-Gi-Oh! World Championship that happened. And I've noticed for a while, I've been a Debbie Downer. I haven't been the best version of myself. Because when Konami gives us lemons, no ban list, terrible reprint products, but that's for a different video. We gotta turn around and make lemonade or throw the lemons at pedestrians, whichever one makes us feel better. So there were some things that I was really excited about when I was watching Worlds. The best thing is that since I'm Pacific Standard Time and already wake up early, I got to see the most interesting parts. I didn't have to wait for all the BS. But as you guys already know, the competitive play was taken to the highest level. These Yu-Gi-Oh! Players were the best of the region, winning and topping the most prestigious events in their area, so the mistakes were incredibly minimal. In my opinion, World is a really good template to see where Yu-Gi-Oh! Is exactly at. Because with less player error in high-level competitive play, you get to see the cards that really shine, that could be very oppressive, and you also get to see the cards that are just sneakily good and very fair and balanced. Because players do play fair and balanced Yu-Gi-Oh! Cards, right? All right, that just might be me coping. It also gives you a great indicator on what could happen for the ban list. I mean, we can just go ahead and talk about it. The finals of World Championship insinuates Yu-Gi-Oh! In what spot we could be in. A deck like Lunalight, a strategy that most players thought was incredibly bad. I actually remember a player asking Triff on Twitter, how do you beat Lunalight? And his response was, make it past round 2. That's insane, brother. Top players' confidence in the deck is at an all-time low. But for it to be able to be in the finals of a world championship speaks a different story. It means that while the Justice Hunters decks are incredibly strong, there is room for harmony. There is a particular world where decks from Duelist Advance can compete, and in fact, not only can they do that, they can almost win the whole thing. And that wasn't the only deck that got Duelist Advance support that actually got chose by one of the best players in the world to contend with at the highest level. Sky Strikers were another strategy that were chosen as well, which again speaks volumes for Duelist Advance if the correct ban list goes in order. What Duelist Advance does show us is that it does have a lot of potential, but it seems to be locked by certain situations, like Droll and Lockbird.
Droll and Lockbird. And you see, Tom, look at this guy. An amazing opening and an absolutely devastating blow. That card losing popularity this weekend is why Lunalight was a great pick, but Julian's smart enough to include Droll and Lockbird in his side deck.
So chat, not only do I want you guys to let me know down below in the comment section, what are some other Yu-Gi-Oh strategies you think can compete in the correct circumstances? I'm not talking about a full-blown ban list destroying the best Yu-Gi-Oh decks, but if certain cards that were considered toxic could be eliminated, how would it change the outcome of the game? A situation where a Yu-Gi-Oh strategy doesn't have an instant win button, and there's always an opportunity for a player to win the game. Depending on the greater the feats and the lower percentage chance of you having that victory is what makes the game so much more exciting. Now back to what I was talking about. No, seriously. Raven Wing version 4. These are easily the best sleeves on the entire internet. And seeing that they are back on the internet, you can go ahead and pick up your Raven Wing sleeves before it's too late. Head yourself to TheCaliEffect.com and purchase your sleeves today. And for my people that live in Las Vegas, Nevada, the People's Card Shop holds the sleeves. They are having a regional this upcoming weekend, and Raven Wings will be there. So make sure if you're living in Las Vegas, Nevada, or plan on coming, you park your keister at that event and make sure to purchase your sleeves today. Now, TCG players, hold on for me a little bit because this actually does tie into the TCG. This is the third year in a row that a TCG, a North American player to be specific, has won the World Championship. And I heard rumbles by some of the OCG players that one of the big things that the TCG players has an advantage of is the absence of Maxi. The card not existing in our card game gives us more skilled and interactive play, so when the card finally does get removed for Worlds, then we kind of already know what to do. And I think one could argue that OCG players could just obviously test under no Maxi, but seeing that we have an entire format built around no Maxi, one could argue that that is an unfair advantage. There's also the fact that we have Dueling Book, a free-to-play website that allows you to grind Yu-Gi-Oh cards without having to get the specific Yu-Gi-Oh cards, as well as always having the most up-to-date set that you can play for hours. As much trash as Dueling Book does get by the community, it is one of the best ways to get better at Yu-Gi-Oh! I can't really think of too many other platforms that can compete. Now, me personally, I think that that's a very interesting take. As someone that has played Master Duel since it came out, so played with Maxi, I do agree with that. We do have way more interaction when the card doesn't exist. There are times where games are decided by the card. And I also believe that Konami should universally decide to get rid of cards like Maxi and go to the other side and get rid of cards like Droll and Lockbird. We might just be in a spot where those cards are no longer necessary. Droll and Lockbird was needed to prevent these huge combo decks from making these terrible monsters that couldn't be beat. But if you guys were paying attention to the World Championship and events alike, it actually does the opposite now. All in all though, this has made me more excited, more hopeful for the Yu-Gi-Oh ban list, because players have been saying that it is a great Yu-Gi-Oh format, and while I may not agree because Fire Kings are not as strong, I'm just messing with you. I do think it's a pretty fun format. So as of right now, recording this video, we don't have all of the list, which go figure. I am streaming today on Twitch, so hopefully we'll get more lists by then, and I will reveal them to you the moment I can. Worst case scenario, I will be giving you guys a link so you'll be able to check out the deck list yourself. But when we look at the World Championship, the top 32 is still undetermined. Fortunately enough, I don't think that that matters as much because we have the top 8, and the top 8 looks like a fairly beautiful format. I mean, look, big dogs, 2 Vanquish Soul, 2 Yummy, 1 Lunalight, 1 Striker, 1 Malice, 1 Crystron. I heard White Forest got 9th place. Brother man, if this isn't a sign of what could be a beautiful format, I don't know what is. Keep in mind, the Worlds format is the combined list of both the OCG and the TCG, and it goes by the card where the region has the lowest. Take for example, since Maxi is banned in the TCG, then it's banned for Worlds. Catch Tier Finra, I believe, is still limited in the OCG, so it's limited for Worlds. This could also explain why we don't see Fiendsmith-based Yu-Gi-Oh decks, because that's been hit to the oblivion in the OCG, and can also explain why there's no Draco Tail. There were tons of play and counterplay, but looking at Julian Cohen's Vanquish Soul World Championship deck profile, I actually think a lot of things can transfer over to your TCG deck list. I mean, if I'm being honest with you, this deck list looks really similar. Yeah, I was doing my research and this is Jarrett Darcy's deck list. And as you guys can see, it's not 1 for 1, but it is, wait, it's 1 for 1. I thought it was close. No, it's 1 for 1. There's Jarrett Darcy right there. Oh, never mind, I'm stupid. This right here is Julian Cohen's, and this right here is Jarrett Darcy. So it is similar, not the exact same thing. With no Droll and Lockbird into the main deck of the format, players are opting to play more copies of a case for K9. This means that when you do get hand trapped, having access to your K9 cards is a little bit more easier. They're also playing a full K9 package. Insane. I think the big thing here is that there's no Paradise Smasher in the Worlds list, which is pretty obvious, but still goes to show, even when Paradise Smasher gets banned, this is a top contending Yu-Gi-Oh deck. Regardless, congratulations to Julian Cohen for winning the World Championship and Jarrett Darcy for winning their respective event. Malice is still a pretty decent contender, and we have a yummy deck list. This is the Ghoulless, or I mean Malice deck list that Thoughtsawat Wanako used, and man, that's crazy. Brother man, I love Raigeki in the main board. I think that's smart. It's a good card. It shows that cards like this can thrive. But Dimensional Barrier, Macro, Gozen, Rivalry? Brother man, hath you no soul? But just like how there are OCG players saying the absence of Maxi makes Yu-Gi-Oh more skilled, maybe the absence of these one-of Floodgate cards would make Yu-Gi-Oh more skilled as well. So in my opinion, the ban list can go one of two ways. It can be one of the most disappointing things that you've ever seen in your entire life. They can bring back cards like Maxi for every region, meaning that it will be viable for Worlds, but I'm actually more optimistic that the opposite will happen. Yu-Gi-Oh is getting to a spot where players are allowed to play on both players' turns, but removing the toxic cards that were once almost necessary for stopping some of the big combo decks and slowing the game down to a crawl. If anything, this proves that the perfect ban list that we had a week ago is only even more perfect. So go ahead and check out that video if that's something that you want to see. But more importantly, class, you got to go ahead and check out these videos so I can catch you on the next one.